So when you're talking about freshers, can I know what's the percentage of freshers that you actually hire?
At least about 10 to 15% across the group we encourage to take professionals, but that depends upon the requirements of the project.
So what is Vasavi doing to attract the whole Gen Z crowd?
Are absolutely
AI replace these job opportunities that people are having now?
AI is
I wanted to know what Vasavi is doing to maintain that professionalism.
Professionalism is embedded into our working style and working organization.
Is it a very difficult thing to be the part of Vasavi Group?
So the organization Vasavi builds in transparency, innovation, passion, trust, honesty, integrity. These are the values of the organization.
How do we change the mindset of people who think at a company like Vasavi, it's going to be extremely stressful?
It's simple actually. Vasavi has a history. 30 years we have been building projects.
Today we're at the corporate office of Vasavi Group and we are going to talk to Mr. Krishna Kishore about their work-life culture. So let's go. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Now that you have told me that you're the corporate head HR of Vasavi Group, can you explain to us about your role in this company?
See, as the head of HR, have multiple responsibilities. One of the main responsibilities is to ensure that the employees are culturally oriented towards Vasavi and also ensure the entire HR life cycle management in terms of whatever duties and responsibilities are taken care across the organization.
Okay, so I just wanted to understand a little about the work-life culture at Vasavi. How is the work-life balance, the work-life harmony? For example, if people want to get hired here, would they have a work-life balance in their life?
First thing is, Vasavi is an organization which offers roles and responsibilities with clarity.
Okay.
So people who are passionate about their role, they enjoy.
Okay.
So question of work-life balance is something that comes up only when there is an imbalance in the system. When our roles and responsibilities are well defined and we have clear job descriptions, there's hardly any opportunity for any kind of a pressure or undue pressure.
Right.
The passion ultimately of the employee drives them to achieve their goals, and that way they enjoy what they do. Rarely we get into a situation of imbalance or work-life pressure. I don't keep hearing such complaints from any employees. On the contrary, they keep talking about how to manage the various assignments coming on their way through multiple tasking.
Okay, that's great. So when there's a new joinee, what can they expect?
See, we have a process whenever somebody comes on board, we have an onboarding system through which they are inducted and we do a orientation to them.
Okay.
We tell them about our values, our culture, our practices, and we tell them about the various aspects of Vasavi which they are supposed to know.
Okay.
So to do their job very, very successfully and without any kind of issues.
So before they join, they're well informed about everything.
Absolutely.
So many real estate companies, as of my knowledge, they lack in a lot of professionalism. I'm pretty sure because you are in this, you also know that. I wanted to know what Vasavi is doing to maintain that professionalism.
So let me answer your question in two parts.
Okay.
First is, let me tell what the industry is. Real estate is an industry which has come up from various sources, wherein that anybody can start this business, however small, however big they are, and get into that business and keep doing what they wish to.
Right.
But what you need to know interestingly about Vasavi is Vasavi has a history of 30 years. This institution has been built by our chairman, brick by brick, and they in fact did projects, not one, not two, multiple of them in 30 years of time. So when they were doing multiple projects, there were loads of learning. There were lots of opportunities for them to make sure they do a great job. And at the end of the day, the values So the organization Vasavi builds in transparency, innovation, passion, trust, honesty, integrity. These are the values of the organization, and these values are the ones which are practiced by all the directors, including the chairman. It is the chairman who has institutionalized these values across the organization. So when an organization is built with value system, with a culture which is more friendly, open, it is very, very rare. They seldom get into a situation where they are not professional. And professionalism is a part of our journey, our life. Everything we do, we go through a process, a system, a procedure, an SOP. So professionalism is embedded into our working style and working organization.
Right. That's good to know. Also, I just wanted to know so that everyone knows, is it a very difficult thing to be the part of Vasavi Group, to be working? What's the process of hiring basically?
Vasavi is the right place for the right person.
Okay.
When I say right place for the right person, the person should be competent
Okay.
and skilled. If we are talking about an engineer, he should have the required amount of experience. That doesn't mean that we don't take freshers. We do take freshers selectively based on our business needs. But our projects are such seasoned projects, we need competent engineers.
Right.
The engineers could be from multiple branches of civil, electrical, mechanical, and various other branches, but they need to be competent with their skills. So if they have their competencies, it is very easy for them to get into their role and job description given to them, and they successfully perform their duties. If they are freshers, they go through a learning curve. We put them under the mentorship of the leaders who are already experienced, project managers who are experienced, and these project managers train them, guide them, handhold them, so that these trainees over a period of 1 year or 2 years will become extremely competent. But getting into Vasavi, absolutely easy for a right person with good competencies. And if you don't have the required amount of competencies, probably you may have to learn, get them, practice, experience it before you come to Vasavi.
Right. So when you're talking about freshers, can I know what's the percentage of freshers that you actually hire?
There's nothing called we go by a percentage.
Like approximately.
At least
Roughly.
At least about 10 to 15% across the group we encourage to take professionals, but that depends upon the requirements of the project.
Right.
If a project has an opportunity to take good number of freshers, we do take. If the project doesn't have it, then probably we go by the requirements and the specifications given by the experts who have designed the project. Ultimately, we hire them accordingly.
Yeah, but that said, Vasavi Group gives a.
We are extremely open to take freshers.
Yes, good.
As long as they are coming with good background.
Also, I wanted to know, it's the whole Gen Z world right now. These Gen Zs only are going to invest in the future. So what is Vasavi doing to attract the whole Gen Z crowd?
See, one of the interesting things you need to be aware about Vasavi is the kind of projects we do are absolutely brilliant and competitive, unique. They're very unique in terms of their design, their architecture, and also the needs of the customers. So in fact, the very project throws up so many challenges to the youngsters or to the experienced people. Ultimately, they grab the opportunity and then take it up. So we ensure we provide that kind of a competitive environment to everybody who are coming on board, either a fresher or an experienced person, and ensure that we have the right people at the right place at the right time.
Right. So coming back to the employees' harmony at Vasavi, every company goes through a phase of stress, right? I mean, I don't think it's possible for a company or anybody for that matter to not have stress at all. So what does Vasavi do to manage that employee stress? Especially, I think people are more stressful probably in sales. And so how is that managed?
Let me again answer your question in two parts. Let me address the stress part, then we'll go into the sales part, what you are referring to. Stress is something which evolves or takes place or really takes birth when things are unorganized or disorganized, when people don't have the right role and responsibilities well defined for each of the employees, that's when they are confused and there will be a chaos, and the chaos leads into stress.
Right.
We have well defined roles and jobs and responsibilities. We have competent people, project managers, and leaders who guide. In fact, one of the greatest things about Vasavi is the directors themselves get involved in each of the projects, and they keep giving directions, advice, and support to various people across the levels. That could be advising the leaders, advising the project managers, advising the various groups of people across the organization. That helps. So the question of stress seldom comes because we have very, very well defined process and systems to guide the people. When it comes to sales, again, the question of stress hardly arises, at least in Vasavi, because each of the Vasavi projects have a good number of salespeople. Our salespeople have defined responsibility, wherein that they have been given a target which is very realistic compared to the market.
Right.
So the number of salespeople are many. At the same time, the targets are realistic. Absolutely, they find it's challenging to do it actually. So rarely we get into a situation of stress or confusion for that matter.
So, before anyone joins a real estate company, a third person's perception, its focus would be on sales. It would be extremely stressful because at the end of the day, we are, as a company, trying to sell properties, right? How do we change the mindset of people who think at a company like Vasavi, it's going to be extremely stressful?
It's simple actually. Vasavi has a history. 30 years we have been building projects, and the projects are sold like hotcakes, and our existence speaks. So this history has already spread into the market in terms of Vasavi's existence, what kind of projects we do, what quality we give, and what kind of a pricing model we have, and how much we value customers' expectations. When we have that, anybody who is looking for a career from as far as sales is concerned, looking at Vasavi, he knows what Vasavi offers, and he knows to what extent he has to involve himself to do a sale. When that kind of a clarity is there, there is seldom any challenge for him to take up a role or responsibility with Vasavi. When that kind of a thing is not there, it is very difficult because customers expect good quality and a reputation or a brand value of the builder. Brand value of the Vasavi is something we earned over 30 years. It did not come overnight. We have earned it over the 30 years. At the same time, the people who are looking at our projects, they look with an anticipation of definite quality and the niche, latest fashion or design or infrastructure. So salespeople seldom find it difficult to look at an opportunity to sell a property of Vasavi to a right customer.
Okay, so as far as I know, now from what you have told, this is a good place to be. How would you encourage them? How would you call out these freshers, or not only freshers, anyone to apply to this kind of company or apply to Vasavi?
Yeah. So interestingly, the real estate recruitment model is such, most of the things keep happening with the market intelligence and also with references and also through LinkedIn and also through other portals like Naukri and other things. So the people get to know the kind of projects coming up. For example, what kind of projects we are going to have in 2025 and what kind of projects we will be having in 26, 27. From the order book or from the kind of the projects we conceived and planned, people will get to know what kind of a pipeline of projects we are planning. When the market gets to know that kind of a thing, which is very open because we do quite a bit of advertising and branding about our projects, upcoming projects, and also the kind of opportunities we are extending in terms of variety of projects, automatically it goes widely into the market and people will find it very interesting and they keep a track and send their resumes to our database, and wherever there are opportunities and they are good, we extend them the job opportunity.
What would you recommend to other real estate companies in terms of your position? What do you think? Are they lacking somewhere? What do you think can make them as good as Vasavi?
Well, probably the question is very broad based. It would not be very appropriate for me to say that I am recommending, but I can make a generalistic statement wherein that any real estate company which offers good quality of projects with a customer centric objective of giving a good quality at the right price in the right time,
Right.
automatically people will go to them. As far as the right people are hired for the projects who are competent to do their jobs well, the quality of the projects are taken care. So real estate companies should be hiring right quality of people, and at the same time they should be hiring at the right time the kind of people without any delay so that the projects do not suffer.
So, how is Vasavi evolving in terms of technology? What new technology is Vasavi using? We would like to know a little about it.
In fact, all our projects which are niche are ultimately are driven by the niche technologies available in the market.
Okay.
We are up to date. In fact, if you can go to some of our projects and take a look at them, you will get to know what is the kind of latest technologies we have been using. We are up to date. We welcome technologies. We welcome new equipments, new strategies, and ultimately we are not lagging behind compared to anybody in the world.
Where do you think the working culture is going to go in the next 3 to 5 years? What is the evolution process? Now, in terms of not only working, I just have something on my mind, which is AI. This is a question where everybody is having this question. Will AI replace these job opportunities that people are having now?
First of all, AI doesn't replace people automatically. AI is an enabler. It's an enabler. It's a value add. It's an enabler. It only fosters my process, my system, my procedure for better quality, better deliverables. So it is going to be an added support for my business and for my team. It doesn't replace people.
Okay.
Ultimately, in real estate, most of the jobs are driven by the people who are competent, especially with civil and electrical engineering. We need them at the right time, at the right place to deliver. And AI seldom replaces these people who are extremely skilled. So we need them. AI can always add value to them, give them required support to do their jobs efficiently.
Right. And say, suppose an employee just came into Vasavi as a fresher. Where can he or she see himself? What kind of progress can they expect? Where will they be?
See, people who are coming as freshers, especially engineers, they come with a branch of knowledge, either civil or electrical or mechanical, or for that matter, any other branch. They come with a definite orientation to grow. Growth is a definition again for them, something to do with the change of designation, but actually it's a confusion which youngsters live with, especially the Gen Z. Growth is something to do with the learning.
Yes.
If you are doing a high level job at a younger age, that means you have grown over the short period of years and becoming a responsible engineer.
Right.
So change of designation cannot be considered as growth, but the change of roles he does, multiple responsibilities he takes, multitasking works he does, makes him to grow as a person, as a professional, as a techie, as an engineer. That's when he grows. This kind of a challenge is obvious in Vasavi because we give that. Our projects offer such challenges. Only thing is, he has to roll his sleeves and go to the project site. Engineer can't be saying, I'll be sitting in the corporate office.
Right.
He should go to the project site, roll his sleeves, and ensure he does his job along with the other engineers who have been working at the site.
I really like your point of calling learning growth. Many people, not only Gen Zs, people do not know that learning is growth. They think getting higher salaries, but I think it is a simultaneous effect that happens. You learn, you grow.
Absolutely. Right. See, and if a person is becoming an engineer an assistant engineer, a junior engineer, or a senior engineer, or a project manager, they're all change of titles.
Right.
Ultimately, it is the role, what kind of a role they carry, with what kind of responsibilities, with what kind of accountability, that defines the real learning,
Right.
which defines ultimately their responsibility for growth. Compensation is an aspect which comes automatically once you develop a value proposition around your role.
Correct.
If you are very valuable with your skills and competencies, organizations
You
will
will be.
not hesitate to
Right.
pay. They automatically offer you the best possible salaries, incentives, and you will be absolutely taken care, because no organization would like to leave talented people.
Right. So also with the entire situation around, people are saying that real estate is not doing that good in this current period. Would you support people? Would you encourage them buy a property at Vasavi?
Absolutely. See, the industry not doing well is just a scenario. The ups and downs are common in any business.
Right.
Leave about real estate industry. Any business has ups and downs.
Right.
Vasavi always offers the best projects at the best competitive price, and it's always a right time to look at Vasavi first if somebody is looking for a property.
Correct.
We have multiple projects and we have multiple opportunities. We have a lot of variety. We have niche. You name it, we have it. So it's always interesting to look at a Vasavi property before you take a decision, because we offer a range of products.
Correct. It's better to do your research, check out all the properties, and then
Recession
invest.
is just everybody
Right.
has to go through. Every
Yes.
business has it.
Yes.
And it's an up and down. We should just sail through the situation.
So is Vasavi seeing the because it is, I don't know if we can call it recession, but can you see the difference from before and now in terms of sales?
Leave about Vasavi, the entire real estate industry is going through as a session of recession, if you have to call it.
Oh yeah.
It is a kind of a low, or it's a kind of a high, which keeps happening in business. It is in a low, which always follows by a high, because
Right.
every
Right.
low
Has
is going to
going
have
to
a high.
have a high.
So everybody is going through.
Right.
It's not the Vasavi alone. The real estate industry is going through a kind of a slowness.
Right.
It's a lull or a slowness. So we are going to get over that situation anytime.
Correct.
It all depends upon the various other factors which drive. But customers have a psyche. Unfortunately, in the state of Telangana, with certain things happening around, that also confuses people in terms of purchases. I'm not finding fault with anybody, nor I am finding fault with the government. We always expect the government to support real estate industry, which they have been doing big time.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the various things happening around the real estate industry, especially with reference to some of the initiatives of the government, confuses people sometimes.
Okay.
Ultimately, that can always push a buyer back to immediately buy, and or may delay his decision, because he would like to seek clarifications about what he has been hearing in the industry, in the market generally.
Correct. So now, because of the recession, like you said, I don't know if we can call it recession. Is it going to affect the people who are working at Vasavi?
Not really. Not really.
That's the main point.
No. See, we are busy with our projects. We are busy with our various targets. And our sales team are busy with sales. And other functional people are responsible who are for other functions are totally busy. We are busy. It's a normal life for us.
Okay.
We have our regular challenges of business, and we are moving.
Right.
So no way these things are affecting. Yes, sometimes the footfall of customers may increase. Sometimes the footfall may decrease. So that happens in any business.
Correct.
That happens even in a mall. So it's very common. So no way it affects our working model, and we are happy.
Okay.
But one thing, Vasavi believes in high performance culture.
Right.
People who perform always grow here.
Correct.
People who do not perform will find it difficult to work in Vasavi, because we only expect performance. They can't be spending time having happy time and jolly time here without doing their job
Yes.
or without delivering on their roles.
Correct.
So it's a high performance culture. We encourage high performance culture. We nurture high performance culture. When I say high performance, right person doing the right job at the right time and being competent to do a job in a record time consistently.
Yes.
It's not that you have done a great job today and you're gone for the day. That should be done every day, each day.
Every day, equal effort.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So consistency of performance is something which is important.
Correct.
And we encourage employees to take challenges and grow.
Right. Does Vasavi believe in taking feedback from the employees?
In fact, feedback mechanism is something is built in our culture.
Okay.
One of the greatest things about Vasavi is it's an open culture we have, wherein that all the employees have direct access to all the leadership team and especially to the directors.
Okay.
Anyone wants to say anything, all they have to do is drop a mail or reach through a phone call to the directors.
Okay.
Directors are so approachable.
Okay.
Our approachable proposition of the management is something a great virtue to the Vasavi organization and institution. In fact, we welcome people to reach directors and give their feedback. And they keep doing it and it happens automatically. And feedback is something very important for our day-to-day living, growth, changes,
Correct.
improvements, and we love it.
Okay. So you do support the feedback
We
culture.
encourage it.
Yes.
We encourage
You encourage the
a healthy feedback. At the end of the
Yes.
day, feedback should be healthy.
Correct.
And which is helpful to the organization.
Right. Like
And it should be
constructive criticism.
constructive feedback which is in the interest of the organization, for the betterment of the organization, and for the future growth of the organization.
What is that single mantra that Vasavi Group's employees work on?
The Vasavi Group employees work on single mantra way is that commitment to the customer.
Okay.
And we give lot of freedom to the employees to offer suggestions and also to do things with greater amount of significance as long as it is in the interest of the project and the customer. And we encourage people to be customer centric, and we tell them do anything to the customer at the end of the day to keep him happy, and to the project to ensure the required amount of quality.
As we know that there are many departments, Vasavi is not small, it's pretty big. So how do you ensure harmony between what is the process, and because it's not easy to handle so many branches as well. So how does this all work? What's the process?
See, we have well-defined processes. Each of the departments have a team of people.
Okay.
They would have their roles and responsibilities defined. And each of these departments have goals for the month,
Okay.
and for the quarter, and for the year. And every month there is a monthly review which they do amongst the departments. And to ensure the monthly deliverables are taken care, every week there is a review. Within the department there is a review. That could be HR, that could be sales, that could be CRM, that could be projects. There is a weekly review of their own goals and performance deliverables. And to ensure they do that effectively, there is a process which we have, and then send reports to the management, to the directors every week, and ensure the deliverables are not missing, are not slipping.
So how do you ensure the coordination between site departments and corporate departments?
Yeah. The various support functions are located in the corporate office, and we have extension of these support functions also in the sites. And what we do is we have an annual monthly review, inter-department review,
Okay.
that has been introduced by the management
Okay.
very effectively,
Okay.
wherein that the site departments and the corporate departments would meet every month for each of the projects. And there will be a review on the deliverables and on the pending issues of each of the department and each of the functions.
Okay.
Supposing there is a particular aspect which is pending with a department called purchase,
Okay.
and the requirement is there for the projects.
Okay.
The projects team and the purchase team are facilitated to have an open discussion and the leadership team will be present if any decisions are to be given, and on the spot the decisions are given and the things are completed. This kind of a review mechanism on a monthly basis for each of the projects increases the deliverables and helps basically to increase the efficiency of each project and each department and each function.
Right. I think the working culture of Vasavi is basically everything is delegated. Each team has its own delegation and everybody. So after what I have heard, I am already in love with the corporate culture side, because we hardly get to know about the corporate culture side of real estate. I don't think many people know what happens behind, right? What happens in the offices, at the corporate office. Many people don't even know that corporate offices exist.
Right.
Because they're people, they've not come across, they always come across their flags, advertising. But I think this was a very good initiative. People would know a lot more about this project, and many employees would be interested to get hired. How would you encourage freshers or any people who would want to get hired in a real estate company like Vasavi? What would you tell them?
First thing is the corporate office to sites. We have professionalism, top-down culture, wherein that right from directors and the leadership to chairman, from everyone to down the level to the site engineer or to the last person, they work together with a sense of responsibility and orientation of ownership towards the project and ownership towards the customer and quality. That's number one. Anybody who is looking for a kind of an opportunity to get into Vasavi, I always advise them to look at Vasavi only with one condition, provided they have passion to work in a real estate industry to deliver. Because this function of project management calls for right people at the site and ensure they do their job. If the person has reservations to work at the site, or reservation not to be going into the hot sun and doing his job, probably he may not be fitting into the role, and he's not passionate about a site role.
Correct.
Probably he's passionate about something else.
Yes.
So the passion of project management, project related assignments, something which one should have as a fresher. He could be diploma holder, he could be a BTech, anybody for that matter. We encourage first the person to have the passion. If the person doesn't have the passion, it's very difficult. If he has a passion, we can train him, we can guide him, we can mentor him. Absolutely, we can groom him to our requirements. That's about it.
So we're actually very happy to be talking to you, and also I am personally very impressed with the working culture of Vasavi, and we got a lot of information today which is helpful for people who want to join into real estate companies. So we're very thankful for that.
Thank you so much. Vasavi extends an open culture. That's all I would like to say in one sentence. Where things are open, things are very transparent, and people are encouraged to innovate and deliver in their jobs with freedom. And freedom to work is something everybody enjoys. When the freedom is there, there is hardly any complaints of stress, and they enjoy what they do. And it's a great place to work. Vasavi is a great place to work, and this is something built over 30 years, not overnight. That's about Vasavi.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.